The Victoria Highlanders would like to proudly welcome you to Centennial Stadium, home of the Highlanders, for today's match between Altitude FC and your Victoria Highlanders. Now let's welcome the officials and teams. The officials for this afternoon's women's match are referee Ben Clark and assistant referees Rowan Stafford and Sarah Hoffer, and the fourth official is Garrett Watson. This afternoon's starting lineup for Altitude FC is number 50 in goal, Ava Jones. Number 3, defender Alana DeLong. Number 4, defender Lauren Gray. Number 5, defender Holly Garvas. Number 6, forward, Eva Rodriguez, also captain. Number 11, midfield, Aurora Hughes Goyette. Number 14, midfield, Ashley Stewart. Number 15, midfielder, Avery Bullock. Number 22, midfielder, Charlotte Ring. Number 32, forward, Quinn Johnson. Number 34, defender, Jessica Moreno. The Altitude FC is led by head coach, Rami Basse. And now, fans, please help me introduce the country grocer starting 11 for your Victoria Highlanders. Number 1, in goal, Melina Ramirez. Number 2, defender, Efreen Eistad. Number 3, midfielder, Lily Mano-Quickwell. Number 4, defender, Mara McCleary. Number 5, midfielder,
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Centennial Stadium at the University of Victoria on the traditional territories of the Lekwungen-speaking peoples. It is game day for League 1 BC here in the province's capital, and the home side Victoria Highlanders are facing off against visiting Altitude FC. Hello, everyone. My name is Roturo. Glad to have you with us here on Pride Weekend here in Victoria. Highlanders are coming to this match in 7th place in League 1 BC. There is still the slimmest of chances that they could sneak into the 4th and final spot in this year's playoffs, but that will require them to win every single game and get some help along the way. It's a tall order, but stranger things have happened, but they're going to need some help. 2 wins, 6 losses, 3 draws, 9 points so far in their League 1 BC season. Visiting Altitude, who have a much better chance of sneaking into the playoffs, sitting in 6th place, 3 wins, 4 losses, 4 draws on 13 points for their campaign. Highlanders come into this match having lost the Island Derby 2-0 against visiting Harborside FC last weekend. For Altitude, though, they come in on a draw, drawing 1-1 with Unity FC on the mainland. Aurora Hughes Goyette scoring the goal there for Altitude to salvage the draw. And Hughes Goyette is in the starting 11 for Altitude today. Let's get to the starting 11, starting with the visiting Altitude FC in their all-teal kit. Starting on our broadcast right, Ava Jones gets the start in goal. Back four of Elena Dulong, Lauren Gray, Holly Tarvez, and Jessica Morano. Midfield of Aurora Hughes Goyette, Ashley Stewart, Avery Tulloch, and Charlotte Ring. And a front two of Eva Rodriguez and Quinn Johnson. Rodriguez, the captain's armband today. For the home side, Victoria Highlanders in their white kit with black shorts. Melina Ramirez once again getting the start in goal. Avery Neisted, Mara McCleary at the heart of defense, surrounded by Lily Manel Fretwell, Cameron Kurtz, Sophie Miranda, Kira Heyman, and Bryn Smith. Up front, Megan Faulkner and Sophia Jones with Mariel Solzberg floating between the two. Sophie Miranda with the captain's armband today. On the bench, full slate of subs for both sides. For Altitude, Kelsey Fisher on the bench as the goalkeeper. 6 outfield players, Ali Hughes Goyette, Cara Slate-Louis, Selena Ali, Maya Morel, Jacqueline Reinhardt, and Jade Mitchell. For the Highlanders, Emma Sparrow on the bench as goalkeeper. Sarah Lepine, Jade McKee, Julia Manel Fretwell, Lily Ray, Hannah Emmond, and Jensen Napier-Ganley forming the outfield players. Ramirez going with the all-purple goalkeeper kit today. All orange for the Unity goalkeeper Jones. Officials today, Ben Clark is the center referee, Rowan Stafford and Sarah Hoffer the assistants, and Garrett Watson the 4th official. Highlanders are coached by Neil Sedgwick, Altitude by Fally Bass. Highlanders will kick this one off. It'll be Solzberg taking to the opening kick. In front of her, Miranda on this near side. You can see Jones there as well, and we get things started. Kurtz all the way back. Neisted out wide to Faulkner. Faulkner playing the lower role to start here. Immediately challenged quickly by Tulloch. Obviously trying to turn things over, but covered. And inside goes Faulkner. And Kurtz looking for a way out. Jones back. Faulkner pauses and now has a look. Stutters forward, now being chased. Good marking there briefly by Quinn Johnson, but shaken off. And now looking long as Solzberg, that takes a deflection and out. Should be a throw for Highlanders. Faulkner throws back in, immediately met by 2 players from Altitude, but intercepted, and that one sneaks past. That one nearly intercepted there by Rodriguez. But it's Highlanders in midfield still. Faulkner. Looks long. Headed, cleanly by Gray. Down it goes to Jones. That will be cleared out, and will be another throw for Highlanders on this near side. So Faulkner nominally listed as a forward, being asked to be a fullback today. That speed and pace, I can imagine, is being what has pulled Faulkner into that area of the pitch. And now long ball looking for Solzberg, not going to get there though. Cleared, and now a chance for Altitude to break out. Tarvez, and Tulloch. They'll go all the way back instead. That's Gray, sending it all the way back to Jones. Up the far side. They battle on the far side for it. Now intercepted by Highlanders and sent back. They'll recycle this. McCleary. All the way back to Ramirez. Neisted is there as well. They'll be McCleary. Almost caught again by Johnson. or not Johnson, excuse me, that was Rodriguez. Now Johnson trying to step up. Ring is there as well. Ring currently the leading goal scorer for Altitude, 3 goals on the season. Followed by Aurora Hughes Goyette with 2. It's actually a number of players sitting on 2 goals for Altitude. Meanwhile, on the near side, DeLong trying to get up there. Blocked by Faulkner, intercepted. High line from Neisted, but it springs Miranda. Tries to stutter step around, but is blocked by the imposing defense of Lauren Gray. Back goes Altitude. Long ball. It's looking for the run here of Hughes Goyette. Out of her reach, though. That breakout not the best one for Highlanders, and instead, chance for Gray and Tarves to regroup at the back. They go up the middle. Tulloch all the way back. Tarves. Morano. Cleary forward to Kurtz and then back. They'll try wide this time. Forced to go central. And it goes past everyone, but it does roll to Jones. And a chance to spring Faulkner on the right side. There is space, but back comes Altitude in numbers. That takes a deflection off of Dulong. Tarves tries to break out. That's met this time by Kira Heyman. Heyman now trying to get back in position. Slides in. It's a tough challenge. Referee allows it. Does go up for a throw for Altitude. Heyman showing no fear in going to ground early here, having hit the 5-minute mark. Already the tackle sliding in on the far side from Kira Heyman. Heyman and Smith being asked to monitor that far left side of the pitch. Stutter from Neisted trying to get through and does. Heyman forced to play back. William L. Fretwell is also over there. But right now on this near side, it's Faulkner to Jones. Miranda is there. That's where the ball goes. Kurtz is a short option. Opts to go up the middle instead. Solzberg showing for it. Now Kurtz brought in. Jones waiting on the touchline, receives it. Met immediately by Dulong. Nice ball back inside for Solzberg. Tried to get the cross, but stubbed her toe in the grass there. Unfortunate missed hit there by Solzberg, and Solzberg is feeling the effect of that a little bit. Quick check from Jones, but all seems to be right. Or not Jones, Faulkner, excuse me, checking in. Ava Jones restarts things. It's an Ava Jones in goal and a Sophia Jones on attack for the opposite team. I'll try to make that a little more clear. Ava Jones to Gray. Dulong available on the near side. Gray opts to go long, sees the run. Ring trying to get through. It's a lovely ball and a lovely run from Hughes Goyette. Make that not Ring. Now there's the centering. Quinn Johnson with the shot. Takes a deflection, goes off the side netting. And it'll be a goal kick. Hughes Goyette showing plenty of space and good awareness to make these runs from midfield, and immediately high press from Hughes Goyette trying to stop this play out from the back. And the pressure remains. Kurtz nearly got her pocket picked there. Jones over to Miranda. Sophia Jones, that is. Faulkner has moved up from back. Solzberg trying to make the run on the near side for the overlap. Now comes the ball. Might be offside here. Nope, flag stays down. Immediately marked. That should be a throw-in for Highlanders, and it is. Toe poke there from Alana Dulong. And this will be Faulkner's to throw in. One option short. They go long. Headed clear. And Kurtz steps in and does intercept with the left foot deflected. Good block there. And still following up is Rodriguez trying to poke this free. Hooks it back. Tulloch. Or that was Quinn Johnson, excuse me, who'd come back. Good work on the forward to rotate into that pressing midfield role. And now Tarves' chance to break out. On the deck for Charlotte Ring. Back it goes. Long ball for Hughes Goyette. In a foot race here. A little bit of a shove. That'll be called. A bit too exuberant there from the Altitude midfielder / forward. Good read there by Morano. Tulloch turns. Or Ring, excuse me, was the one who made that turn. Gray to Dulong. Right, first touch not the best. Faulkner able to get there with help from Sophia Jones. They'll battle for it. Nice shoulder. Faulkner, though, only gets it as far as Tulloch. Headed back to midfield by Miranda. Or not Miranda, excuse me. That was Smith who'd stepped forward that time. The long ball, though. There's some shouts there for a call going against Highlanders by more than a few altitude players there. Referee's not interested. It will be a deep throw, though, for altitude in a good attacking position. And they'll set this up. Morano on the far side to take the throw. Has options at the edge of the penalty area. Has Tulloch floating inside the arc. And the referees are actually checking something as well as the fourth official there. Seems like they're okay, though. And we will continue. There's a throw, and they opt to go short. Now back. First time ball over the top. Unfortunately, that misses the intended target, and that will roll out for a goal kick. Well, you can see the idea there. Drop everyone back, try to take some pressure off, and allow Tulloch to make that late run, but while Avery Tulloch was there, unfortunately the ball a little too much oomph on it. Highlanders play out now. Kurtz looks long. That should be easily picked up by Dulong. He's asking a lot of Faulkner to make that run, all the way up from the back. Morano is on the ground, was looking for Stewart. They'll help it forward. And that goes over the end, or the touch line, excuse me. That'll be a throw-in for Highlanders on the far side, right by one of our cameras. Cleary playing the 1-2. No Fretwell there as well. He's intercepted. The shouts for time from onto Ashley Stewart. The warning comes up, and Stewart does well to get rid of that. And they'll recycle Tarvis to Gray to Dulong. Tulloch turns, blocked. Dulong with the follow-up. A bit too much pace on that ball. And making the turn there and moving away. And cutting inside is Neisted. Neisted takes a bump. Referee isn't interested. Not even advantage given there. Neisted did go to ground a bit easily. That deflection, though, and very nearly a handball. Sophia Jones. In tight quarters here, fakes the clearance, and again, has to be careful. Highlanders playing with fire here as the high press continues to be a problem for them. Quinn Johnson stepping in, gets a toe to this. This should be a deflection, though, and it will be a throw-in for Highlanders. Kurtz swings and misses. Chance now from distance. Oh, and that very nearly saw a seam at the crossbar. Charlotte Ring had a chance. Why not? Leading goal scorer, looking for their fourth. And ultimately floated over the crossbar instead of under it. But Ring had space there to try and pick the target. It looks like Ramirez will leave this for McCleary. Looking long. It's going to go over the head of all the targets that they're looking for. And in a battle there between Kurtz and Ring. Kurtz wins out. Manel Fretwell. Back it goes. Cleary up. Miranda trying to get clear but can't. Altitude from their back now. Intercepted. They'll try to spring Salzburg with that ball looking good, but Salzburg in no position to make the run. Gray will calmly recover this. Play in Holly Tarves. Tarves staring down Salzburg. Has some help from Stewart if wanted. Ups to go up the middle. Good turn here. And played out wide. Sophia Jones. Faulkner being watched. And back comes the press now from altitude as Ramirez recovers. Hughes Goyette and Johnson providing it. Now Tulloch with the late press as well. It's 3-on-3 here. That means there's space in midfield that can stay in, but it can't. Valiant effort from Faulkner. But Altitude's game plan here early on has been to press that back line, leave at least 2 forwards high, don't give McCleary and Nystead so much as a moment on the ball. And so far it does seem to be working. Foot race here. That will be 1 as Heyman tried to chase that down. Does manage to win the throw-in at the end of it, though. The deflection now will take a throw-in in favor of Altitude. So I mentioned Ring being the leading goal scorer for Altitude off the top. For Highlanders, it's been very much goal scoring by committee. Multiple players on a brace. Mariel Solzberg has 2, Sophia Jones with 2, Megan Faulkner, Taya Scory, each with a brace. And then a few helpers with 1 each. Sophie Murphy, Mara McCleary, Kira Heyman, and Paige Payne, all with goals to their name. Total 13 goals scored for Highlanders. 13 goals scored also for Altitude this season. Difference being that Highlanders have conceded 25, putting them at minus 12 goal difference. Altitude have only conceded 17. Goal difference of -4. Unsurprisingly, Altitude are the 6th place team and Highlanders the 7th, and the team with the better defense, unsurprisingly, higher up in the standings. Miranda recovering here. Faulkner nearly has their pocket picked. Johnson a touch slow, now Nystead up the middle. Coming together between Miranda and Sophia Jones unintentionally. Stewart manages to win that one, and a chance now for Ring. Ring over the top. Has the run of Tulloch. Picks out nicely. Tulloch centers, deflects twice. But Nystead will be able to calm this down. Charging in, though, not giving up on the ball. Johnson not going away quietly. Or that wasn't Johnson, that was Hughes Goyette, excuse me. Tarbs, or Gray to Tarbs, excuse me. Morano. Back to Tarbs, as now the Highlanders try a light press of their own. Stewart helping there with the return. They'll go up the middle. Intercepted. On the deck it goes, looking for the run of Heyman. Can't get past. Morano did well to shield the ball. And Heyman didn't do themselves any favors, to be fair. Not the first time a Highlander player has tripped on the grass here at Centennial, which is unusual. This is usually a familiar pitch for the home side. As Smith recycles that back to Manel Fretwell. Charging in, though. No fear whatsoever, Rodriguez. First time ball, that should be right at Ramirez and claimed cleanly. As Tulloch tried their luck from distance. So Hughes Goyette has taken that front roll here. Eva Rodriguez has dropped deeper, and that hasn't changed since the opening kick. Ring has been advancing more often than not, and Tulloch not afraid to move up from midfield either. There's Stewart with the ball at the side, but that one misses its target. Moving quickly here is Bryn Smith. And that deflects off and out. It'll be a throw, and Manel Fretwell going over to take care of this. So Lily Manel Fretwell on the field. Julia Manel Fretwell is on the bench. In case the Manel Fretwell family had any concerns. Kurtz nearly gives that one away. Nice step to Faulkner. Faulkner has space. Head up, looking for someone to go to. Tries Miranda. Very nearly loses it. Stewart nearly with the steal, but back to Kurtz it goes. Up the far side. Manel Fretwell. On the deck. The idea there was to play in Heyman. That Ball too far ahead of Kira Heyman, though, to really do anything with. It'll be a goal kick for Altitude. 17 minutes played. Highlanders 0, Altitude 0. You're watching League 1 BC Women's regular season action. My name is Roturo. Glad to have you with us. Good recovery and steal there by Tulloch. Chance for Tarvis to play out. Tarvis walking up, puts it on the deck, finds Hughes Goyette. There's the turn and some speed from Aurora Hughes Goyette. Cuts inside again, but ran out of moves as the boot of Mara McCleary decides to end that nonsense right here and now. Fantastic work by Aurora Hughes Goyette. Skins two Highlander midfielders with pace. Only that final touch, it was just loose enough to give McCleary time to boot that out into touch and away from danger. Danger not fully over though, as Altitude off the throw-in, trying to move forward. That's a good steal, but out of bounds it goes as Heyman, showing the exuberance to muscle the ball free. Only briefly though, throw in here for Altitude, taken on the far side by Morano. And they'll get another one a little bit further up the pitch this time. As Heyman and Smith watching this. Cleary to Manel Fretwell. Being watched by Quinn Jones, now being watched by Hughes Goyette. Johnson and Hughes Goyette, an imposing tandem. Likely going to be a handful for McCleary and Neistat all afternoon, especially if this high press continues to be as suffocating as it has been. Ava Jones with the ball forward there to Gray. Gray. Dulong. Back inside it goes. Tulloch. All the way back to Ava Jones. McCleary. Ramirez. Back to McCleary. Avoids the press. Hughes Goyette again, centimeters away from making that steal, and as soon as they do, look out. Miranda. This time finds Faulkner. The only downside with high press is all the space it leaves, and Faulkner opts to take some of it. Over comes Sophia Jones. They'll go up the middle, and it does actually fall kindly for Kira Heyman. Miranda now. Deflected. Headed down by Dulong. Tulloch with the clearance. McCleary steps in front to put it back over the head of Rodriguez. Rodriguez turns, keeps it in. Manel Fretwell. Action picking up here. Is that ball up the middle? Flag goes up for offside. Stinging shot and good save. If it had counted, that would have been a nice one for the stat line, but unfortunately the flag was up very early. Sarah Hoffer calling that one very quickly from this near side. And it'll be a free kick taken by Ava Jones. Coming into this match, Jones had only started one match, only one to their name with 90 minutes fully played, only conceded one goal in that appearance. It's been Sarah Lowen getting the lion's share of the minutes. In the other 10 games, it's been all Lowen, then one for Jones. So in this, the 12th game of the season for Altitude, Jones getting another start. Again, as we said off the top, it's a very slim chance for both sides to make the playoffs. It's still possible, more possible for Altitude than it is Highlanders. Given that context, for Jones to be getting a start here, a lot of faith being shown by head coach Fally Bass. Making sure to get the players some minutes here development. That is the whole point of League 1 BC. Give these players a chance to shine, chance to develop. Improving that game, improving their game from this level has been something that's been sorely needed, not just in BC, but in Canada for a good long while. Gray will slowly chase this one back as it rolls to a near stop. All the way back to Ava Jones. Tarvis looking for Morano on the far side. Does keep it in. Rodriguez hooks it up. McCleary first to react to make sure that Hughes Goyette couldn't get a run to it. Back to Ramirez. Here comes the press again. Johnson right back to it. Tulloch also high, 15 on 15 there. Tulloch on Sophia Jones, and Tulloch gets a boot to it and turns. Dulong on the overlap, but it's behind Dulong. Guess does well to recover to keep that ball in play. Stewart, here's the call. Nice little turn to get away from Solzberg. Ashley Stewart, wonderful pivot, protects the ball, keeps possession, and Gray's able to play to Tarvis. They go long, deflected up off McCleary and over. That'll bounce calmly to Ramirez. He rolls it out. Kurtz immediately back. That pressure from Ring was almost immediate. Hughes Goyette. And now Rodriguez, one very wonderful steal there. Over the top, oh, off the bar! Still live, Ramirez does manage to scoop it up, but Eva Rodriguez, lovely ball over the top. Nearly caught Ramirez, and then the struggle between Quinn Johnson and Avery Neisted to try and knock that ball in, or at least preserve it, allowed Ramirez time to scoop it up. Best chance of the afternoon for Altitude. We remain 0-0, having passed the halfway point of this first half. Tulloch up the middle, Johnson onside, but Neisted did well to recover. Solzberg over to Miranda, returns. Kurtz. Faulkner. Watched by Tulloch. Opposite go inside. Draw two midfielders. Ring was one of them. Coming together there between Stewart and Miranda. That should be a foul against Miranda, and it is. Or not Miranda, excuse me. That was Bryn Smith who'd come in. Miranda was further back. From the play. Altitude setting this one up. They fancy their chances off of a dead ball here. Gray goes long. Has a line of jerseys to work for, but hits none of them. Heyman able to get there. McCleary hits it and goes for a tumble. That should be a throw for Highlanders, and it is. Manel Fretwell will take this throw. Put some oomph into it. Let's take a bounce. Morano is there and pokes it over to Stewart. Stewart back to Morano. Tarvis. Altitude backline spreading now. Try and play this one out. They play that horseshoe passing lane. And Dulong has space to work in here. Closing it down with Sophia Jones, but Tulloch is now there. Tulloch looking long. Eva Rodriguez uncontested on the far side. Does get a touch to it, but not a great one. I'll go off of the captain Rodriguez and out for a throw. Lily Manel Fretwell will take. Has Bryn Smith. Opts to go for Heyman, but it's Rodriguez again getting in the way. That one will bank off of Manel Fretwell, and it'll be a throw for Altitude. Morano to take this one. Great ball in, brought down, that time by Ring. Still Altitude ball, but this time taken away, and now chance for Miranda to do something with. Can they start a counter, can Highlanders? They'll flare it out to the open space, but that's not nearly enough to try and spring Faulkner. Effectively a cheap giveaway. Tulloch to Dulong, but Altitude will opt to regroup here and set their attack. Tarvis, then Gray, with help from Stewart. It's Gray, Ring now showing for it. Gray goes long. Hughes Goyette in a foot race here with McCleary. Won't matter because Ramirez gets there first. Kurtz immediately returns it to Ramirez. Not the first time we've seen Kurtz do that. This may be a set rollout here for Highlanders. Try and give themselves some space. At least get the Altitude defenders out of position. That challenge on Solzberg was not to the referee's liking. And Solzberg staying down a little bit here. But seems to be okay. No worse for wear. The player coach, Solzberg, Kurtz from Manel Fretwell. Heyman started the run. Manel Fretwell inverts and now flares it out wide. This is asking a lot of Sophia Jones to get there. Dulong should win this race and does. But we'll just tap it out. No nonsense defending there from Alana Dulong. Might have had time to clear that a bit further upfield, but again, no nonsense. Take the throw in. Faulkner's throw is given away, and Tulloch should be able to clear and does. It'll be another throw though. Slightly higher up the pitch this time. And Faulkner will have their choice of targets to work with. Jones moving forward. Miranda steps in, tried to get the shot off, does manage to get the rebound from Dulong, puts it on target. Foul called though. I'm not sure if that was for handball or for Miranda fouling the defender and going past them. Either way, Highlanders still yet to get a shot that counts on the stat line as the whistle has gone before their two best chances on goal, and ultimately they count for nothing. Miranda showing how dangerous they are though. The current Supporters' Choice Award winner as team MVP, as chosen by the fans. Probably, I'll tumble on the far side. There's Rodriguez and Manel Fretwell coming together. Heyman can't get past. Hard press here again from altitude. Morano trying to make something of it. And does manage to hook it into midfield. Can Ring get there? No, Kurtz first. Stewart, though, follows up. Does ultimately roll back to Ramirez. And finishing that thought, if Miranda is in contention for perhaps repeating his MVP, it will be against more than a few contenders. Certainly Solzberg and Jones would be in there as well. Kurtz also, though I do have a soft spot for defensive midfielders, so I might be slightly biased in putting Cameron Kurtz's name in there, but I digress. Jones, Faulkner, forced to retreat, gets the return. Faulkner, Jones, onside. Gets it on the left foot, all the way back to Miranda. Inside and over the top. That is Kurtz, or that was Manel Fretwell, excuse me, trying the audacious shot from distance. And there's a bit of exasperation shown there by Kira Heyman saying, I was over and ready to start the run, where's the ball? And there may not have been a passing lane there after all for Manel Fretwell, difficult to see from this angle, but if there was one, Heyman's complaint might be well justified. Stewart, back to Tarvis. 15 minutes to go in the first half, 0-0 between the home side, Victoria Highlanders FC, and the visiting Altitude FC. This is League 1 BC women's action. The men's game will be the second half of our doubleheader today. If you're enjoying League 1 BC action, be sure to stick around for more of it. And thank you for supporting semi-pro soccer in British Columbia. Neisted. Close quarters here, trying to get around the press, and they do manage to. Sophia Jones. Trying to get there. Was Faulkner who'd inverted, but ultimately lost out, and now back the other way goes Altitude. Aurora Hughes-Goyette. It's 1-on-2 here, and Quinn Johnson's in space. Ball couldn't get there though. Hughes-Goyette with the stutter. Sliding in, trying to get the cross in, but it will be a goal kick. I'm not sure if Hughes-Goyette saw how much space Johnson was in. It was a 2-on-1, and you have to think maybe just a quick pause to get the head up and look, and you can split the defender and get that pass over. And ultimately, that's not what happened. And Highlanders dodge another one. Heyman. Under pressure here, tries to turn, can't. Kurtz follows up. Some shouts for foul there. Referee isn't interested. Bryn Smith puts it inside. Kurtz Back to Ramirez. Back to Kurtz. Kurtz will turn with this one. With the right foot, over to Miranda, who's moved into the right back role, is vacated by Faulkner. Interesting personnel shift here. Do they like the wide playmaking role? It's an interesting idea. Faulkner even playing higher than Sophia Jones at this point. And now it'll be Jones taking this throw. Faulkner lets it go. Salzburg taps it over. Dulong is there with the interception, and now Tulloch turns. Gray over the top. Johnson in a foot race here with Neisted. And it'll be a throw for the Highlanders. Neisted did enough. It'll be a deep throw, though. And now Faulkner has retreated. And the brief personnel juggle undoes itself. And that one was aiming for Miranda, intercepted by Dulong. Ring. Nice turn from Charlotte Ring. Ball on a string finds Stewart. Rodriguez back to Ring. But good pressure there being shown in midfield by Sophia Jones and now Salzburg. Tulloch hot on their heels. Salzburg gets clear. Does manage to draw the foul. The hand was in there a little bit too long by Tulloch, conceding the foul. Throwing it out for altitude on this near side. Dulong's throw finds Johnson, given away. Kurtz striding forward. Nice little toe poke. Couldn't get past the second one. Does win the throw. And jousting of shins there between Kurtz and Dulong. Salzburg holding up. Chips it over the top. I'm not sure if Smith is onside here. Flag stays down, now it comes up. Smith did jump just a touch early or was out of position when the ball came over the top. Either way, offside called. And they'll let Gray take this one to restart. Stewart showing short to help out the defenders. Over to Morano on the far side. Tarvis. Stewart is still there, now trying to direct traffic. They'll go all the way back to Ava Jones. Gray. Dulong starts a run, wants the ball. They'll go short to Tulloch. The return to Gray. Gray fakes the long ball, still with it. Right up the middle. Ring to Dulong. Faulkner gets in the way. Good read from Faulkner. 1-on-5. Draws the foul from Ring. Looked like it was shoulder to shoulder. Ring isn't protesting too much. Or at all, so fair call by the referee perhaps. Did look like Ring got shoulder to shoulder on that. Regardless, Kurtz takes it quickly. Jones back to Kurtz, being watched. Highlanders just escape the press. Sophia Jones tries the little back heel. Neisted with the deflection. Off of Johnson, that'll be a throw. Faulkner has some options. Looks for Salzburg. Sophia Jones not able to get there. Tulloch playing short to Stewart. Now Dulong. Tries to nutmeg, but Sophia Jones gets just enough of it. Heyman. Miranda. Dancing in. Kurtz with the return to Miranda. Faulkner's got space. A little bit late with the run, though. First time cross. Falls nicely, but not able to get a toe on it was Bryn Smith. Just enough done there by Jessica Morano to make sure that Smith wouldn't have a tap in at the back post. Good defending from altitude. Now the counter. It's a one-on-one here. Neisted and Johnson. Neisted's there first. Or not Neisted. That was McCleary, excuse me. No, that was Neisted. I can read numbers, I swear. Neisted and McCleary briefly swapped sides, covering each other off here. High press again from altitude. McCleary will get there. It's over the top. Salzburg chests it down. What a battle here between Tarvis and Salzburg. McCleary goes long. And Smith can't get past Rodriguez. Morano, stared down by Smith and Heyman. Up steps Neisted. Goes down. Foul called, and this time the few arms go up from our two players. In all honesty, it looked like Neisted kind of wiped themselves out a little bit more than the actual foul. But there isn't too much protesting. Referee Clark's decision, and it'll be a free kick the way of Highlanders. Miranda standing over this one. The right boots going deep for back post. It is in. Can Faulkner get there? Keeps it in. Faulkner claiming middle over the end line. Assistant referee isn't interested. Charging over to keep this one in is Neisted, but won't be able to. It is going to be a throw. Neisted will take the throw. Finds Faulkner. Johnson. Dulong. Back to Gray. Over the top. That long ball looking for Hughes Goyette. Battle there with Kurtz, and Kurtz comes away with it. Now to Faulkner. Faulkner looking for a run. It'll be Jones, but that ball skips out of the path of Jones. Dulong with the throw on this near side. Directing traffic a bit. Not liking what they're seeing. Now the throw comes in. Faulkner gets there first after all that. Solzberg can't get a toe to it. Sophia Jones with the header. Faulkner keeps it in. Jones a little back heel. Faulkner first time ball. Ends up being a cross-come shot. And that will count as a shot on target, I believe, by Faulkner. I think the intent there was to cross it. But he did have a bit of curl at the end. Skipped towards the path of the net. Maybe Jones forced to make the play. That is the bare minimum. I've said this many times on these broadcasts. If you're going to take a shot, it doesn't matter if it's high quality or not. Put it on target. Make the goalkeeper have to do something with it. Blasting it wide of the target helps nobody. Tulloch. Altitude on the turnover here. In their counter. To the middle for Johnson. Headed clear by Kurtz. Only as far as Stewart, who tries their shot from distance. That'll go wide. Ramirez was there. Calmly watches that one go over the end line. Final 5 minutes of the first half. 0-0 between Highlanders and Altitude. 7th hosting 6th in the league table. Both sides having played 11 matches. This is match 12 of 14 for both. Maximum of 9 points on offer for both sides. 9 points for Highlanders would put them on 18, which as the table currently sits, would be enough to get them past TSS Rovers, who are currently on 17. But again, that would require a massive amount of help and more than a few goals to be scored. For Altitude, the calculus is much easier. 9 points puts them on 21. That puts them well clear of TSS on 17 for that fourth and final spot. Of course, that's all numbers, though. None of that matters if nobody scores tonight and only a point is earned. For Altitude, they could survive with a draw. A draw and 2 wins would have them on 7 points, which would be 20, which would be enough. They need 4 to catch TSS. They could even do it with a win and 2 draws. Or a win and a draw and more than a few goals scored. As that long ball for Johnson doesn't make it. Ramirez plays right past Johnson. Jones helping the counter there. Faulkner and Solzberg and Miranda. Kurtz. Kurtz floats that one far. It does fall kindly. Morano couldn't get a clean touch on it. Heyman will let that go for a throw. No, keeps it in. And one back by Altitude. Hughes Goyette Looking long for Ring. It does get past McCleary, and now if Ring can get a step here, sliding in is McCleary to make sure that that goes out. Throwing on the far side for Altitude. Final couple minutes to go here, plus whatever the referee tacks on. A minute would be fair, you would think. Kurtz chests that one down and right back out for another throw, allowing Altitude to get better and better position. And they'll go right for the corner flag. Ring tried the return ball, but then ends up throwing all that hard work away, or booting it away as the case might be. From midfield now, riding to head to it, booted long. Great. Dulong able to get there, manages to put it through the legs of Sophia Jones, and Dulong goes midfield, but that is blocked. Kurtz heads up play. Faulkner to McCleary. McCleary looking long now. Manel Fretwell's gone on quite the run here. Morano will get in front of it. And he'll be out for a throw. Altitude now as we hit the final seconds of the first half. Should be about a minute added on for stoppages, you would think. By Morano, met by Heyman, and it goes back out, and Altitude will be content to sit in the opposing half as time ticks down here. Farther away they stay from their own goal, the better. That interception missed by Kurtz, and Ring, chance to do some damage here, hooks it in with the left foot right at Ramirez. Charlotte Ring, on a blind hook back shot with the left shot, put it on target. The reason Ring is the current leading goal scorer for her side. Other goal scorers for Altitude for this season. As we hear the official announcement that it is indeed 1 minute added on for stoppages. Hashtag called it. Sophia Jones. And foul conceded there by Kurtz. A little bit too, after saying that Kurtz got an elbow up. And Gray will be more than happy to get this one back downfield. Johnson looking for Ring. Ring still with it. Goes through Faulkner, turns past Neisted. Johnson floats it back post. Hughes Goyette is there. Tried to stretch, couldn't get a toe to it. It'll be a goal kick for Ramirez. No, it took a deflection, says the referee. That'll be a late corner for Altitude. I will confess I did not see that deflection. Referee clearly did, though, immediately signaled for the corner. And Altitude with a golden opportunity here in the dying seconds to go into the break up a goal. Plenty of bodies forward. Right at the goal, unfortunately. Not the best corner taken, and that is the final kick of the first half. After that corner, raised our expectations for drama and then dashed them horribly. After 45 minutes, it is Highlanders 0, Altitude 0. You are watching League 1 BC women's action. We'll have the second half after the break.
Just a reminder, today's match is proudly sponsored by Country Grocer and Phillips Brewery and Malting Company. Now it's time to stretch your legs and grab some refreshments from the concourse or down on the track level. Today's feature food truck is Papa John's Pizza. Highlanders concession is serving candy, pop, chips, Also check out the Highlanders merchandise. We do have craft beer provided by Phillips Brewing and Malting Company. Delicious beer responsibly brewed by irresponsible brewers. The Victoria Highlanders FC are thankful for all the support that we receive from our business community. Thank you to all our sponsors, Liquor Plus, Country Grocer, Phillips Brewery, World Cup Youth Soccer Festival, Epic Sport Management, TD Canada Trust, Cowichan Eye Care, Okanagan Cider, and Neutral.
So Quinn Johnson coming out of this match, and Jade Mitchell coming in as their replacement. So it should be a like for like in the sense of a forward for a forward, though Mitchell not necessarily the same striker profile as Quinn Johnson, who, as we saw in that first half, spent a good amount of energy running this high press that Altitude seems to like. And in their place, it looks like Charlotte Ring has moved up into that position vacated by Quinn Johnson. So in that sense, Ring, who was already doing a lot of forward runs as it was, continues that role going. Meanwhile, on the far side of the pitch there, it looks like a player is down injured. They tapped the ball out of play, it looks like, so that they could be looked at. Didn't quite see what happened there, whether it was just a coming together or a wrong step, but regardless. They're back up on their feet now. I think that was Avery Tulloch who was briefly down, but they seem to be good to go. And you can see the good sporting behavior being shown there, is throwing the ball back in play directly to the team. Now, that has been a practice that used to be much more commonplace, but was discouraged. You'd see them, players tapping it out of play at any opportunity to get injured players looked at, but now they are encouraged to play to the whistle. Well, ball on the deck there, played by Hughes Goyette, intercepted. And Sophia Jones now back the other way for Highlanders. Ring on her tail. Manages to escape, and now Solzberg twisting away. Solzberg created some nice bit of space there for themselves. Faulkner hooks it wide, or Neistat, excuse me, but intercepted. Rodriguez looks forward for Hughes Goyette. McCleary steps up. In comes Heyman. Miranda forward. And now comes Faulkner inside for Miranda. Where Jones, excuse me, had made the initial run. Not Faulkner. Faulkner is in behind. Meanwhile, little clip there, and Miranda will get a talking to, and they'll check to make sure that Gray's all right. Looks okay. And we will continue. So only that one halftime substitution, Mitchell in for Johnson. Mitchell yet to get any notable touches on the ball just yet. As we see Jessica Moran on this near side, and the 1-2 with Tarvis. Holly Tarvis will slip it low. Morano asking to do a bit of running here. Can't get past the double team of Bryn Smith and Cameron Kurtz. And Melina Fretwell all the way back to Melina Ramirez in goal. Neither goalkeeper super busy in that first half. Plenty of action getting the ball up and down the pitch, but clinical finishing was in short supply as Heyman does well to intercept that. Miranda trying to get past Tulloch. Able to do so, and Stewart. Ashley Stewart recovering there, sends it back. Tarvis. Gray. Looking for Alana Dulong. That ball connects. Inside for Stewart. Sophia Jones unable to intercept. Dulong again. There's the turn. You can see the idea there. Trying to get Jade Mitchell into this match. No such joy. Instead, it'll be a free kick for Highlanders. I thought about going quickly. Now they'll set it up. Up the far side. Chance for Faulkner to keep this in, and does. Faulkner in a good position to deliver across. Has some targets arriving. Floats it in. Headed wide. Heyman finally getting a good look at goal that is still onside. Forced a very nice save out of Jones. Unfortunately, the flag had already gone up in the first half. So while it looks nice in our memories, it ultimately will not go on the stat sheet. That one will, though. Rodriguez over Morano. And Rodriguez does well to keep their footing. And now Morano, chance to get this forward, and does. Aurora Hughes Goyette trying to outpace Mara McCleary. McCleary turns. Tight turn, well done by McCleary. And forward comes Highlanders. Chance for a counter here. Bryn Smith puts that on the deck in the path of Kira Heyman. Heyman stops up, looking for help. Lily Manel Fretwell. Back to Heyman, the return ball. That's going to go out, though, for a goal kick. You can see the idea, but ultimately, nothing doing. Meanwhile, behind the play, McCleary is clutching at their knee. That's not a good sign. That's the one that's wrapped up. Referee's noticed this. And McCleary can't continue. That's not great. McCleary and Nystead have formed a fairly decent partnership at the back, a very familiar one. And if McCleary can't go, that's a problem. No Amy Lawrence on the bench today, though Sarah Lapine you'd think would be the likely replacement. Jade McKee is also on the bench for the Highlanders. Kurtz with the interception. Salzburg. Miranda manages to skip the challenge, but not two. Rodriguez goes long. Ring is in position, but so is McCleary. Bit of a miss hit there. Ramirez under pressure, does well to get rid of it. Danger's not over though. Here comes that high press from altitude. We saw it in the first half. Ramirez goes long. Intercepted. Smith. Out wide for Manel Fretwell. A little bit of space here, but Morano is there. Instead, Manel Fretwell inverts. Plenty of space in midfield. It was a good decision by Manel Fretwell. Miranda for Nystead. Nystead doing well to battle up against Mitchell. The substitute loses out though and Ring turns. Plays it back to Dulong. After all that, it will be a throw-in for Highlanders. Taken long. There's the striker trying to get the crowd fired up here. There's the cross. Heyman, though, offside. Flag went up. Ava Jones, the altitude goalkeeper, will take over here to get things restarted. As Salzburg looks on, they go to Gray. Gray has Dulong well ahead. And they go along looking for a Ring on the run here. 22 against 2. That's at 24 actually. That was Mitchell. Managed to go with a full head of steam on that one. Ring had dropped centrally. And Mitchell again. Dulong looks centrally. Hughes Goyette. Some shouts for handball there, nothing given. But there is a chance for a counter here as Manel Fretwell goes centrally. Smith puts it on the deck. That's going to ask a lot out of Heyman on the run here. And Tarvis does indeed get there. But the back pass does put Jones a little bit out of position here. Tarvis skips not one challenge, but not two. Smith getting a leg in the way. Kurtz. McCleary. Manel Fretwell. Heyman backs off. Manel Fretwell carries this themselves. Centers. So you can see the idea. They were looking for Salzburg, but the ball was behind. And more importantly, defensive bodies were in the way. McCleary playing such a high line. Getting away with it though, stripping Hughes Goyette twice. Manel Fretwell deflects. Nice poke by Ring. Ring goes centrally. Tulloch is coming up late for this, but Nystead will get there first. Sophia Jones. Yeah, both sides really throwing caution to the wind here. Faulkner leaves the ball behind. Comes back for it. Trying to get past Dulong. Does win the throw. Sophia Jones. Faulkner's left footer into the area over the head. I think the target there might have been Miranda. Manel Fretwell. Cleary escapes the press, but that ball will go directly out. Morano. That throw finds Manel Fretwell, and Morano gets back under it. Rodriguez. Morano for Hughes Goyette. They're forced back again our altitude. And they'll try again from this near side. They've been doing their job quite well to put some pressure on, but now altitude found a way forward. Ring, long ball, knocked away by Neisted. And that does fall kindly. Jones trying to do a stutter step there to get inside, couldn't do it. Now calling for it there is Mitchell and gets it from Tulloch. Mitchell up against Neisted. And a little shove there. If it wasn't a goal kick, it's definitely a foul. It's an unnecessary shove there. And actually, that might earn a bit of a talking to from the referee. Head referee today, Ben Clark. Assistants Roan Stafford and Sarah Hoffer. And fourth official Garrett Watson. So no card shown. Just a talking to. And it looks like a substitution's been lined up here, and that will be Ring's day at the office done. Very present with Charlotte Ring. Highlanders will be thankful to have that kind of presence no longer on the field, but that does mean that someone with fresh legs has come on. I believe that was Cara Slate-Louis who was signaled there. It is Cara Slate-Louis coming in, listed as a midfielder. But considering if this is a positional like for like, then that midfield might be a suggestion more than anything else, considering how high Ring was playing. And indeed, first thing Cara Slate-Louis does is go right up front in that pairing with Hughes Goyette. The pairing of paired names, as it were. Kurtz back to Neisted. Cleary under pressure here. Slate-Louis and Hughes Goyette continuing their work. And it's so far paying some small dividends. This shot will go wide of the net though. Stewart fancied the chance, but Ramirez was more than happy to watch that one sail past. So 2 subs used so far for altitude, 1 at halftime and 1 just now. They still have on the bench Ali Hughes Goyette, Selena Ali, Maya Morel, and Jacqueline Reinhard. And their spare goalkeeper is Kelsey Fisher, who, as we mentioned earlier, is their regular starter. But so far in a relief appearance, Ava Jones hasn't had to do much, but has been solid when needed to be. This is exactly what you ask for of your backup keepers. Hughes Goyette, central for Tulloch. Avery Tulloch looking for help, trying to shake the double tail of Kurtz and Miranda. Shakes Miranda, but not Kurtz. But that ball will go wide. Not sure if that was the idea, was to maybe set up somebody else to run onto that ball or to try and flick it on, but either way, out of play it goes. Ramirez will go short. Pressure evaded once, but not twice. Mitchell and Slate-Louis teaming up there. Highlanders try to break out. Centrally is Heyman, being watched. Past Stewart. Now come the reinforcements. Manel Fretwell. Smith. Bryn Smith holds up. Back to Manel Fretwell. Goes inside. Sophia Jones thought of taking the shot. Bumped off the ball, and away go Altitude on a counter. This is a good-looking counter here. Hughes Goyette has space. It's 3-on-2. Tulloch is wide open on this near side. They go far side instead for Slate Louis. It'll be a deep throw for Altitude. Once again, I'm not sure if it's a case of the Altitude attack didn't see the open player, or they didn't like the line that was available. Either way, our odd player rush goes for naught. Neisted faked the clearance, managed to draw in Tulloch. Now it will be cleared. Rodriguez is there, but it falls kindly. Sophia Jones shakes one challenge from Slate Louis. Ends up getting the throw. This will be taken by Faulkner. Ramirez trying to help the play out here, as Kurtz is now dropped back to help provide an outlet as well against this high press from Altitude. Morano only as far as Smith. Stewart, watched by Smith, goes to Dulong, who goes back to Tarvis. Morano. He's going ahead, marked off the ball all the way from the forward line. Pushed back. I'll just try to do something with it. Kurtz now being muscled. Manel Fretwell, calm on this near line. Plays it back to McCleary. McCleary will look long. There's a lot of space there, but that's going to ask an awful lot of Faulkner or Solzberg to get to it, or Jones. And although Faulkner was game, ultimately nothing for it. Substitution coming up now for Highlanders. And it looks like coming out will be Sophia Jones, I believe, coming out. And that should be Jensen Napier-Ganley coming in replacement. So forward for forward.
Number 15, Sophia Jones out of the game, being replaced by number 19, Jensen Napier-Ganley.
So that is Jensen Napier-Ganley coming in. Jones had a tough time today up front. Not a lot going on and was physically outmatched by the Altitude center line. At the center backs on the defensive line, excuse me. Tarvis and Gray. So we'll see if Jensen Napier-Ganley can have any more success. Morano. Gets past Heyman. Actually wins the foul. Heyman got a little bit too aggressive near the end of it there. We're well past the hour mark though. Highlanders 0, Altitude 0. This is League 1 BC Women's Soccer. My name is Ruturo. Thank you so much for joining us for this wonderful match here. Beautiful day in our province's capital. Slight breeze, blue sky. Can't ask for much better than that. Headed clear by Smith. One touch in. But he was not able to do anything with that. That was, I believe, that was Napier-Ganley's first touch of since entering the game. As Tulloch now might have forced a corner here and has. Altitude will get the first corner of the half for either side. Altitude ended the last half. Last kick of the game was a corner attempt that didn't stay in play. Can they improve this time around? It's Avery Tulloch on set piece duties. What has Tulloch got in mind here? Be a right footer, out swinging, looking for a head. There were two targets there, but cleared by McCleary. That one, though, Tulloch, that was a stinging strike that Ramirez had to be careful with, curling into the back post. Calmly collected and rolled out by the keeper. Highlanders go right back to the attack. Well, there's some space here for Heyman. Up comes Manel Fretwell. Or it was Napier-Ganley. Instead, it'll be Heyman. but that will float wide of the back post. Throw in for the Highlanders on the far side there as a coming together of player and ball resulted in a deflection past the players' benches. And Faulkner will take another go at it here. Throws back to Nysted. McCleary. Nysted trying to again play out of that press. They go long. Looking for it there was, I think that was Solzberg or Faulkner. Solzberg, it looks like. Faulkner again, staying on the near side while Miranda takes the throw in. And Altitude recovers. Tulloch does well back to goal. Allows a chance for an Altitude counter here. A long ball from Morano. Hughes-Goyette not able to win it back. They're still trying though. Sliding in and comes away with it. Aurora Hughes-Goyette, great hustle to get there. Now into the area. McCleary shields the ball and now wins the foul. One battle too many there for Aurora Hughes-Goyette, who did absolutely fantastic work to not only stay with the ball but then win it and force the Highlanders backline into some scramble defending. They did manage to do it though, McCleary, with the final shielding of the ball before the foul was committed. Nowhere to go there for Miranda. Altitude back the other way. Clipped forward by Slate Louis. There's the cross looking back post for Hughes-Goyette, but that doesn't make it to the back post. Goes out of play at the near post. Goal kick for Melina Ramirez. So only the one substitution made so far for the Highlanders. Two made so far for Altitude. While the high press for Altitude continues, Ramirez finds a wide open Manel Fretwell on this near side. Heyman showing for it. Miranda's moved forward. Brent Smith's moved forward. Miranda's now taking up that right back role that we've occasionally seen them drop into. When Faulkner goes on a run, McCleary, a little flick header. Not completely cleared though. Back comes Manel Fretwell to make sure that it goes out. Hughes-Goyette once again proving to be a handful for this Highlander backline. Morano will, I assume, come over to take this throw in, and does. They initially said throw the ball here. Hughes-Goyette wanted the play set up a certain way, it would seem, and there's the throw. Knocked down by Kurt. This should be up for another throw, and it is. Right by the corner flag in that corner arc. Tulloch to Morano. Space clears. There's the cross. Good clearance there by Napier-Ganley. Rodriguez still with it. Does well to poke it clear. Great control from Eva Rodriguez. Tulloch floats it in. Back post. Nobody there. A bit of a wave of the arms and exasperation there from Avery Tulloch. That was well delivered. Nobody made the run though. Neither Mitchell nor Slate Louis was in the vicinity. And Nysted off the short kick from Ramirez. Kurtz. Napier-Ganley. Solzberg tries to leave it for Faulkner, who's battling here. And that scuffle does come away with it. Miranda plays it forward. Solzberg back to goal. Does get it on the deck, but gives it away, and Rodriguez will thump this into the far seats. Nysted will take the throw in. Actually, it was whistled for the foul before it went out of play. So Highlanders do have a chance to set something up here if they so choose. It looks like they'll be put back into position more towards the referee's liking. No Sophie Miranda. And substitution is coming up here, and Avery Tulloch will be heading off. Decent shift for Avery Tulloch. I don't think they'll be too upset about that, minus the lack of goal production. And with Tulloch out, I believe that's Maya Morel who's come in. We'll get the confirmation on that in just a moment. No, it's Ali Hughes-Goyette actually coming in, 9, not 19. So more defense or more offensive firepower for altitude being put on the field. Kurtz, we have a log down there with Heyman to come away with it. Napier Ganley. Ganley tries for goal off the bar! Smith off the bar again! 2 glorious chances for Highlanders, and it's nothing but the frame of the goal. First, Napier Ganley tries from distance, forces the save out of Ava Jones, who pushes it onto the bar. Bryn Smith is first to the rebound, but can't get a clear touch on it, and that goes off the post and out. Cross down from Heyman is over everybody. Faulkner is there. Well, those are the 2 best chances the Highlanders have had all game, and they come in the 71st minute. We're into the 72nd minute now. Still 0-0. Both teams chasing points here. Altitude can still sneak into the playoffs if things go their way, even with a draw here, but the Highlanders need all 9 points on offer for the rest of the season if they have a hope of salvaging something from this season. Sneaking into 4th place, which would be a near miraculous end to their season if they can pull it off. Faulkner keeps that in. Napier Ganley crosses this time. Falls. Morano will clear. Hughes-Goyette with the header. Now looking for help. And it should be noted here that now we have 2 Hughes-Goyettes on the pitch. Hughes-Goyettes? Hughes-Goyette? Regardless, it's Ali Hughes-Goyette and Aurora Hughes-Goyette. I'll try and make that clear. They're running side by side as a forward tandem, so at least I have a fairly good chance of saying Hughes-Goyette and getting it right. Small mercies. Stewart now on the deck. Ali Hughes-Goyette takes the shot. That'll be right at Ramirez, though. Good positioning. Ramirez in no rush here. Solzberg got a boot to it. Came off of Tarvis, I believe. Faulkner knocked it down, but to nobody. Gray will clear. Miranda standing up. Kurtz is there as well. Undaunted. Forward comes Mitchell. Nystead. Centrally. Miranda to McCleary. Escapes Aurora Hughes-Goyette and goes long. It's asking a lot of Heyman to get into that space. Morano will calmly send that back to Ava Jones. In comes Napier Ganley to put some pressure on. Haven't seen much of a Highlanders high press today. That's new. And that's a handball on Heyman, and she knows it. As Manel Fretwell had moved up from the back. And Ava Jones, it looks like, will urge altitude forward. Touched forward. Nice little touch there by Cara Slate-Louis. Miranda. Back to Nystead. Keeps it low. Rodriguez is there. Tarvis. Stewart with the back pass. Gray now. Gray. Ali Hughes-Goyette. Forward came Miranda. Wasn't able to control it though. Stewart crosses. And that'll be Ramirez. Bobbled it a bit, but held on. And simply throws it out to get this counter restarted. Heyman is there for it. Heyman has space. Forward goes Smith. They go inside to Kurtz. Back to McCleary. Manel Fretwell. Heyman now has moved back. fighting with Ali Hughes-Goyette, but fouls the forward. And looks like an altitude substitution is queued up here. We'll see who they've got. So that'll be Ashley Stewart's day done. An eventful one, though, again, not one that ended on the score sheet. And coming in,
Brewery substitution for PST. Number 14, Ashley Stewart out of the game, being replaced by number 19, Maya Morel.
and this time it is Maya Morel who comes in. I was one substitution ahead of myself as that long free kick is snared rather cleanly and easily by Ramirez. Rolls it out to McCleary. Up the middle they go. Smith to Manel Fretwell. 15 minutes to go in this game. Still 0-0. Little flick on by Solzberg. Looking for Heyman. Doesn't get there. Morano. Inside for Slate Louis. Who's dropped deeper now. To allow the Hughes-Goyettes to work up front. Napier Ganley almost nipping it there. The shouts came in the nick of time though. Morano now. On a bit of a run. Goes over the top. Ali Hughes-Goyette trying to get there, or at least pressure. And does win the throw. Morano in no hurry to take this one. Either that or it's too hot for the ball kids. I mean, it's 50-50, really. Morano will take this from deep, has options. Goes to the edge of the area. Flicked on by Ali Hughes-Goyette. Turning and firing. What a save! Great low strike from Jade Mitchell, forcing Melina Ramirez at full stretch. And that is the best shot on goal of the game for Altitude. Clear shot on target. Well struck from Mitchell. I'm sure she would like a little bit more power on that, but Ramirez, sharp when needing to be. And it'll be a corner from the far side for Highlanders, but first double substitution queued up here. Are they going to do the substitution or are they going to take the corner first? It looks like the corner is going to come first. Some confusion over who's going to take it, though. Now it will be Jade Mitchell heading over. Initially, it was Eva Rodriguez heading over. Now it's Mitchell, who took the shot that won the corner in the first place. The right footer, right to the penalty spot. Falls, but is swept up and cleared by Cameron Kurtz. Kurtz holds Napier Ganley inside. They'll try and play their way out of this, but they play it right to a blue jersey. That one deflects off of McCleary as Ali Hughes-Goyette took her chance. They'll go out for a throw. And now the substitutions will take place. And so who's up first here? 17 for 6, so that would be Kira Heyman coming out in favor of Julia Manel Fretwell. So we'll have 2 Manel Fretwells and 2 Hughes-Goyettes. What every commentator loves. Well, it's a chance for Altitude, scooped up by Ramirez.
Substitution for the Victoria Highlanders. Number 17, Kira Heyman out of the game, being replaced by number 6, Julia Manel Fretwell. And number 13, Mariel Salzberg out of the game, being replaced by number 18, Hannah Heyman.
So Hannah Emmond makes her debut into this match. I believe it's also her, unless she's played in an away match, that is her debut for the season. Offside called against Altitude there. So Hannah Emmond, a chance to...
We also are taking a break in the Ashes winners, the winner of the 50-50 draw, which is $90 today.
Just a quick check here to see, has Emmond seen the pitch? Not yet. So this is Hannah Emmond's League 1 BC debut for Highlanders.
9-0. That's 6-2-1-0-1-9-0.
Napier Ganley winning the ball back. Nice dead, under pressure from Ali Huzgoyet. Well, that ball goes out for, I believe that'll be a throw the way of Highlanders. And it is. Oh, actually, the referee will call it as a free kick. Foul conceded. Miranda. Nice dead. McCleary goes long. Might have been a bit of miscommunication there. McCleary looking for a run. No one was quite lined up to do it. Julia Manel-Fretwell was up there with Lily Manel-Fretwell. So the Manel-Fretwells were lined up, but there was no jump to it. And that ball, even if there was likely outside the range of both of them. Perhaps a bit of miscommunication there. McCleary standing up high. Does manage to win the ball briefly from Aurora Hughes-Goyette. Joined by Ali. It's Aurora who's moving forward with it. Has space. Goes for goal. Doesn't hit it. Nice did the only defender back to really threaten that one. But doesn't even hit the target. I will cease recycling my hit the target argument. I'm sure you've all heard it 100 times before. But know that I'm thinking it. Over the head of Hannah Emmond, that one. David Jones, quick to send it back downfield. So Faulkner has been moved essentially up to play as the strike partner for Hannah Emmond. And right now it's Jensen Napier-Ganley sitting at right fullback. And foul conceded there, the bit of a shove. It's an interesting deployment. On the deck it goes, intercepted. Throw for Highlanders this near side. So the Manel-Fretwells are overloading the left side. The Hughes-Goyettes are leading the line for altitude. It's all very familiar. It's Kurtz inside. And that is Jensen Napier-Ganley trying to get the ball forward. For a moment, I misread that as 18, and I wondered how the heck Emmond got that far back. But no, that's a 19. We're fine. Faulkner fighting for it there. Now it comes to Ali Hughes-Goyette. Twisting and turning all the way back to Gray. Lauren Gray to Holly Tarvis. And Maya Morel. Aurora Hughes-Goyette, 1-on-2, twists, turns, keeps it. Morano having moved up, fakes the cross, met by Napier-Ganley, met by Manel-Fretwell. Julia Manel-Fretwell, that is. And Julia again. We'll let this one go up for a throw and let Lily handle it. About 6 minutes and change to go in this match. Highlanders need a win if they're serious about making a charge for the final playoff spot. Altitude are technically still in it with a draw. Highlanders are mathematically eliminated with anything other than a win. Meanwhile, foul against Rodriguez there. I thought she would have drawn it, but no, it's against Rodriguez. And Kurtz will stand over this free kick. Now she'll leave it. McCleary will perhaps be asked with the long ball that we've seen them be capable of. McCleary opts to go. Not that far ahead. Nystad inside. Napier-Ganley. That touch not the best. And now a chance to counter for altitude. They've got numbers and pace. Little stutter. Nice fake there. Ali Hughes-Goyette couldn't hold on. Nystad was in the way. Rodriguez from distance, right at Ramirez. That's an audacious shot from just past the midfield circle from Eva Rodriguez. It was on target though, so Add that one to the stat sheet. Flick on there from Hammond. Or Napier-Ganley, excuse me. Now it's Napier-Ganley, the touchback. Julia Manel-Fretwell, marking Morano. In comes Hammond, put pressure on. And that ball, a little frustration there being shown by Morel as they tried to set up the Hughes Goyetzes. And it's Ali making a block there on Neisted. Ramirez over Aurora's head. Lily Manel-Fretwell. Couldn't get it to Julia. Morano with a great block. Following up is Smith. Still onside. Morano getting back. Puts it out into touch. Smart defending play. We've played 86 minutes. Four and a bit to go. 1 or 2 minutes will probably be added on at the end of this. It's just enough to get a goal if you're either side. And Lily deciding what she wants to do with this. Opts to go inside Hammond in the area. Never reaches the target. Cleared by Rodriguez. Only as far as Kurtz. Kurtz, though, not the best touch. And instead, that was Morel making the grab in midfield. Or no, that was Ali Hughes-Goyette make that. Ali looking for Aurora. Instead, it's Lily Manel-Fretwell there. Now comes Morel. Put pressure on Ramirez. Calmly plays it to Neisted. Mitchell trying to show, not Mitchell, excuse me, Slate Louis. And Slate Louis, head full of steam, manages to nip the ball away from Smith. Stays with it. Kara Slate Louis. Tries from distance, but that's inside on the near post. Well wide. Substitution queued up here. This looks like Altitude going to their bench for some late legs. Actually, both teams have a substitution queued up. And that looks like for Highlanders, Megan Faulkner coming out. Busy day at the office for Megan Faulkner. And for Altitude, that looks like Aurora Hughes-Goyette will be coming out, and Selena Ali will be taking their place.
Number 11, Megan Faulkner, out of the game, being replaced by number 7, Sarah Lepine.
And it is Lepine who will get the nod here. I imagine this will mean that Lepine moves into a more traditional defending role and moves the likes of Napier-Ganley up to the attack. We'll see what happens. As it stands right now, it's still Lily Manel-Fretwell on this near side at fullback. Mara McCleary, Avery Neisted. But there goes Hannah Emmond. Nice turn there by Ali. First touches of the match. Manages to earn a foul. Free kick taken with authority by Gray, but nobody there. Julia Manel-Fretwell. Hannah Emmond. Back to goal, does well to hold it up, but Smith had their pocket picked. Morel to Ali. Kurtz gets in. Midfield battle going on here, and Kurtz actually has space. Some tired legs out there perhaps for Altitude. Kurtz not able to get a ball forward. Julia Manel-Fretwell and Hannah Emmond were in space. Neisted. Dancing in, Lepine. Making a good introduction to this match. Lepine actually being sent forward. Flicked in by Lepine. The long ball is cleared though. Chasing it down is Neisted. Back to Ramirez. We're in the final seconds of this second half. At which point it'll be stoppage time and the referee's mercy. Can anybody find a goal here? Kurtz brings it down up against Ali. Ali, though, good positioning. Turns with it. Met by Smith, still Ali. Morel out wide. Backs up. Lily Manel Fretwell, there's the cross. Headed by McCleary behind. So we'll go into stoppage time with a corner. This is how we ended the first half, on a corner for Altitude. And now in the second half.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 3 minutes of added time.
3 minutes added on for stoppages. That's enough time for either side. There's still time for a goal in this one. Jade Mitchell with the cross on the corner. McCleary with the header. Morano is there to keep it alive. Is there a second phase ball here? Still L2 players forward. No, now they'll back off. Gray backs off. Dulong is already back there. Rodriguez twisting with it. Hunted by Kurtz. Kurtz comes away with it. Emmond couldn't get a good touch. That long ball, I believe, from Ali. Straight to Ramirez. McCleary. Ramirez just walks past Hughes Goyette. Julia Manel Fretwell has space here. Coming up late is Emmond. That's where the ball goes. Emmond's shot, though, scuffed and cleared. I don't mind the call from Julia Manel Fretwell to play in the striker, but the final result has been lacking all afternoon, and we saw it there. The closest we've got was Jensen Napier-Ganley hitting the crossbar off of the save from Ava Jones, after which Bryn Smith hit the post on the follow-up. And for Altitude, a diving save from Ramirez off of, I believe, Mitchell is how we stay scoreless. Long ball. Oh, it's a miss there. And Napier-Ganley trying to get into the clear. Flag is down. She's onside. Into the area, sliding in. Pokes it clear. Lapine is there, but it's going to go out for a throw. A rare miscue there from the Altitude backline. Allowed Jensen Napier-Ganley to move in behind. Dying seconds here. Smith touches a loose one. Lapine. Calling forward is Julia Manel Fretwell. Morano's clearance is not a great one. It does come to Manel Fretwell. Turning, puts it low. Emmond. Hannah Emmond battling for it. Fouled. Fortunately, Emmond fouls Tarvis, and that should just about do it for the match. Referee checks the watch. And Ava Jones calling for her team to go forward, try and win this one outright. Points matter. Kurtz header. Rodriguez with the response. Nice dead. And that will do it. The Highlanders are mathematically eliminated from postseason contention. Altitude still alive. They'll need a lot of help to get to that fourth spot and past TSS Rovers. But for the Highlanders, a 0-0 draw at home. It's a clean sheet for Ramirez and a clean sheet for Ava Jones. But 1 point will end their season, mathematically eliminating them from playoff contention. Thank you for watching this League 1 BC Women's Soccer broadcast. My name is Roturo. If you like what's happened here today, don't worry, we've got more coming up. The men's match is coming up in just a few minutes. Hope to see you then. Until then, my name is Roturo. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a great day.